The place where they shoot the cattle in the head with that big air gun thing.
Oh, that gun's no good.
I was in there once with my uncle.
No way. With a sledge.
Hello, welcome back to the Top 100 Horror Movies review list. The Top 100 Horror Movies scratch-off poster is what I'm going by. Those are the Top 100 Horror Movies as chosen by Fangoria readers. So the link to buy that will be in the description. I am not sponsored. I realized after making the last video where I said, I hadn't seen The Exorcist before. I realized that most of the movies on this list I haven't seen before. I've only seen like 20 or something. I'll specify if I have seen it before in the video. But if I don't say that, assume that I haven't seen it, because I probably haven't. This is one of the ones I haven't. This is number 4, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. I watched it for the first time just a couple days ago. And yeah, let's get right into the story. So the story takes place on August 18th, 1973 in Texas, United States of America. A group of teens go to visit their grandpa's old country home after his grave is desecrated. I think that's why they go. I'm not entirely sure. That's not what I got from actually watching the movie, but I found something online that said that. So I might have just missed it, or, as it often is, Reddit just might be wrong. They go to their grandpa's old country home. Their grandpa's dead. It's his granddaughter and grandson. And then 3 of their friends. So, on the way to the house, they pick up a creepy hillbilly who works at a slaughterhouse. And he does some unsettling things, to say the least. And so they kick him out, and it just leads to a whole mess throughout the entire movie. There's a theory that the hitchhiker was actually very important to the story. However, there's also a theory that he isn't. At least that scene with him in the beginning. Yeah, the whole story might be his fault, might not be. I think it's all just a method of interpretation. So yeah, that's the basic story, is that they go to this old house, their grandpa's old house in Texas, and so on this channel I want to stay very spoiler-free. I'm not entirely sure what that pertains to, like I'm not sure how far spoilers go. I think a lot of people know this movie, and because it is like one of the first slashers. I think it might be the first color slasher, but I'm not sure how far that general knowledge extends to, since I've always known about this movie. Well, I say always. I know about this movie. I've known about this movie even before I watched it. I've known the basic general things of it takes place in Texas, and death with a chainsaw. So I'm not entirely sure how far the general knowledge goes on, like, the actual goings-on in the movie. This might be a spoiler warning. I don't think so, because again, I think this might just be general knowledge for the movie. Actually, hold on a second. Okay, so I looked it up, and this is general knowledge. So, the family that is in Texas is a group of cannibals. The basic story is that this group of teens goes to their grandpa's old house in Texas, or two of the grandpa's grandkids, and 3 of their friends go to the grandpa's old house in Texas after the grandpa is dead. They pick up a hitchhiker, part of the cannibal family. He's crazy, so they kick him out of the van. They go to the house. The group of cannibals find them, and kill them one by one. Okay, that's the basic story. I don't know how editing this is going to look, so my editor will figure that out. I liked this movie overall. So it had really good effects, like really good blood effects, especially compared to my last video. The Exorcist came out a year before. The blood didn't look very good, but for this movie, it looked like realistic. Like it looked like blood. Like it looked really good. It also had good acting throughout. The hitchhiker, the teenagers, especially the final girl, the essentially main character, her fear is very believable. I really like that. I thought that was really good, and also good direction. Like, the camera work was really well done. However, there was a really big con, which was in the writing, which was mainly the character writing. One, the characters are just a bit flat, but I don't really take notice to that, or like mind that really at all. But the characters were stupid. Like, they were really dumb. Like, mentally. Like, so they stop for gas at one point, and they're like, oh, we don't have gas. And so they go to the house, and this guy thinks he smells gas, and he's like, okay, cool, let's go get some gas from this other place. So they go to the house, which turns out to be the cannibal's house. I said spoiler free. That I'm basically just describing this movie at this point. Frick you guys. No, it's not spoiler free anymore. No, from now on, it's so much easier to include spoilers. So, no, it's not spoiler free anymore. No, spoiler warning. For this, I'll include it in videos later on. No, from now on, it's going to have spoilers. So if you don't want it spoiled, don't watch the video. I don't know. Yeah, the characters are stupid. This guy thinks he smells gas. They didn't have any gas, so he's like, okay, I'm going to go over to this house and see if they have gas. So he knocks on the door, and no one's answering. So he's like, ba 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 ba, and keeps knocking. And afterwards, he's like, oh, the door's unlocked. So he opens the door, like the main door into the house. He's like, hello, is anyone in here? Hello? And he just walks into the house. And then he ends up dying. Like, almost immediately. Because he walks into the house and is like, hello, is anyone here? And then Leatherface, the main killer, comes out, and, like, grabs him. And takes him into the butcher room. So, that's one instance of stupid characters. The next instance comes about a minute later, when his girlfriend, who was there with him, like, sitting just, like, a bit away, like, a bit further away, she's like, oh, he's been gone a while. Maybe I should go check on him. So she goes up to the door, knocks, hey, is anyone here? Opens the door, looks inside, hey, is anyone here? Enters the house. Like, this isn't even her house. Like, this is just a completely random house that's unlocked. And it looks... like, it doesn't look super run down. Like, it looks like there could still be people living there. And then these two just randomly enter the house, and, like, he just... The first guy just, like, opens the door, walks in, and he's just, like, standing by the door, but he's still, like, in the house, like, it's still trespassing. It's technically not breaking and entering, since nothing was broken. Only, like, he just opened the door and entered. But still, that's still trespassing on private property. So he walked in, and just, like, stood by the front door, and then Leatherface was like, "Arr!" and came and grabbed him, and took him into the back room. She walked in, and, like, walked around the house. Like, she was walking into rooms. And so she ends up finding the butcher room, essentially. and Leatherface grabs her, sticks her on a meat hook, and then she watches as the first guy dies. So, they're not smart people. And that's these two. And so the other girl, the granddaughters, because there's the granddaughter, grandson, 3 friends. 2 of the friends are dating, 1 of the friends is the granddaughter's boyfriend, and then the brother. So the 2 friends just died. So that leaves the boyfriend, granddaughter, and grandson. So the boyfriend's like, it's been a while. We should go look for them. And so the boyfriend goes over to the house, knocks on the door, like, hey, anyone in there? Hello? And then he opens the door and walks in like the other 2. So, I don't know what it is. Well, I think that's what happened. Again, well, I say again, I haven't brought it up the first time. This is the first time I've seen this movie, and I watched it a couple days ago, and I didn't take specific notes on this. So it's just from what I remember. He might not have walked in, they may have come out. But he ended up dying. Again. And so now it's just the grandson and granddaughter. They don't really do anything. I think she does technically go into the house, but that's after Leatherface is already chasing her. And so it's just, yeah, at least 3 of the 5 characters were just kind of stupid. So that's my entire reasoning for giving it the rating that I gave it, which I will say after the content warnings. Content warnings, there aren't very many of them, because there's not really any language, and there's not any nudity, which is nice. There's quite a bit of violence, mostly off-screen though, so there's not much gore, but there is quite a bit of gore and just like unsettling scenes, like the famous dinner scene. It's pretty unsettling, and there's also like dead animals like in the butcher room. You see a bunch of skeletons. I'm not sure if I would recommend this to someone as like their first horror movie, even though it doesn't, like, even if they are more sensitive against like nudity and language and stuff like that, but not really about violence and gore. I'm not sure if I would recommend this to someone as their first horror movie. Like, it is a really good horror movie, but I don't think that would be a good introduction to the genre. Because it's pretty intense, especially in the last part. So as an introduction to the genre, I don't think it would be a very good one, like a very good introduction. So yeah, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Because, like, if it wasn't for the writing, if it wasn't for, like, the character writing of they just go into random houses, it would probably be a 10 out of 10. But it was, because that's essentially the, like, random entering of the houses is how 3 of the characters die, and it's basically what the whole meat of the movie is sort of set up around, especially with the deaths, because they go look for gas, they find the house. First guy enters the house, he dies. Girl enters the house, she dies. And then the boyfriend goes looking for the 2 of them who entered the house. And then he dies. And then later on, the granddaughter and grandson go out looking for the 3 that haven't come back yet. And then the grandson dies. And then the granddaughter is the final girl. So really, the entire reason things happen in this movie is because people kept entering the house. So that really sort of takes away from the whole thing, if that makes sense. I don't think that makes sense. But yeah, the whole story was sort of set up around, oh yeah, the people enter the house. Which I think is just horrible writing, because, like, why would anyone randomly enter a house. So that's what brought it down for me, to an 8 out of 10. I mentioned this in the last video. I think I'm going to have to mention it every video just so that you don't have to watch the past videos in the series to catch up, or to, like, have everything make sense. I do highly recommend those other videos, though. Please watch them. So, my personal placements, which I put in the description, are purely based on my enjoyment of them, like, of the movies, not based off of, like, how high I rated them. Like, I rated The Exorcist a 10 out of 10, rated this an 8 out of 10, rated The Thing 9 out of 10. Thing is number 1, this is number 2, Exorcist is number 3, and then Halloween is number 4, at a 7 out of 10, but I just think Halloween's, like, just kind of a boring movie. I don't know. I know that's kind of a hot take, but yeah. So I placed this at number 2, even though it got an 8 out of 10, and Exorcist got a 10 out of 10. I just enjoyed this better than The Exorcist, and I'm more likely to watch this again than watch The Exorcist again. So yeah, that, I think about wraps it up. I'm going to scratch off the poster now. I do that in every video. Again, like I mentioned earlier, the link will be in the description. I am not sponsored. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, this is the fourth poster. Fourth scratch-off thing. So we have Halloween from 1978, Thing from 1982, and The Exorcist from 1973. And we are adding the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974 to the list. So let's get right into it. I'm going to do it a little bit differently than I did at least The Exorcist, because that one just went too fast for me. And yeah, I'm going to try see how it is, revealing it a little by little. So let's go. Okay, that's just about it. I'm just gonna clean up the little bits around just to make it look nicer. That should be good. Yep, there it is. Got Texas Chainsaw Massacre title. I'm gonna start explaining what's on the posters, for those who haven't seen the movie and don't care about spoilers. So, got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre title here. We got the iconic, it's called the Leatherface dancing scene, or something like that, at the end. He's just kind of swinging the chainsaw around, furiously, and then you have the the final girl, Sally, there at the bottom, inside. So yeah, actually, while we're at it, I might as well explain these other three since I didn't in the last video. So this is the title, main priest, main priest, and Regan, the victim of the possession, have the main guy, played by Kurt Russell. His name was mentioned in the Thing video, so you should go and watch it if you want to know what his name is, because I am drawing a full blank right now. And the little vine or infection inside him is representative of the Thing. And then Halloween title, Jamie Lee Curtis, there, and then Michael Myers right there in the middle, Also having a hard time remembering what her character's name was. That's not a thing about the actual movie, that's just me. So, yeah. 4 down, 96 to go. Again, links in the description. And I will see you guys in the next one.
With a sledge!